Welcome to Wizard News and Politics. I'm Felix Warren, and I'm gonna miss Twitter when it's gone. And we don't know if Twitter's really gonna be gone or if it's just gonna be kind of bad for a while. But the big news that's happening right now, that's even bigger than Nancy Pelosi is retiring from leadership, is that Twitter is an actual and true hellscape, one which no occultist could navigate without one which no occultist could navigate, honestly. Twitter has a very shoestring staff, and it does not actually have the staff left to do basic functions. So if something breaks, it's broke. There's been random outages and slow ups on the site, and we just really don't know what's going to happen to it since Elon Musk basically has been randomly firing employees based simply on what his emotions and whims are. And I mean, you can kind of just see the breakdown of Elon if you read his timeline. So you don't have to read tarot cards on that one. It's pretty obvious what's at play, and it's kind of sad to watch. But if you do divination, then you probably saw this coming, right? Because I know I was pulling cards as soon as I saw that Elon was seriously going to have Twitter. I literally wanted to know, like, what's this going to look like? So that's the thing is, if we don't have Twitter, either temporarily or for an extended period, then how are we going to find anything out from now on? I know there's news sites and there's news channels and there's talking to people. There's looking up at the sky and seeing if it's all on fire yet. But Twitter was a really good way of finding out what was going on, and a very unique way because there's so many people on Twitter from so many different backgrounds and walks of life that it was a really good way of getting a pulse on things. At least that's the theory. I will say that the world's started to get shaped a bit like Twitter. um, Politicians and government officials have been using Twitter as a replacement for actual polling and for actual means of getting in touch with their constituents. I think that the government of the United States, in particular, I know other governments probably have as well, but I'm just on my country. The government of the United States has really relied on Twitter for communication with its citizens and for like vital emergency services, for sometimes just for verifying someone's identity. And it's just like you can't let a private company do that for you. You have to make real laws and do real work. Stop spending all your time campaigning and come back to the Capitol and put in some real laws. Like, everyone wants this stuff to be under control. Elon is doing a mess of a job at Twitter. You do not need this to be the underpinnings of public service. And I'm honestly kind of glad that he's sort of thrown a fit enough to shake the government off of just relying on Twitter to do its job for it. I don't know why Elon thinks it's worth doing this, but again, I was talking about this. You want to know what's going on? Use divination. So, by the way, this is the Lubanco Tarot. This is by E. Lubanco. I follow them on Tumblr. Really love their art. And I don't. I This was a Kickstarter deck. I don't know Emily Lubanco. That's her name. I don't know where you can get it now. I don't know if she's still selling it, but if you look up, I'll put a link in the description later to if there's a link to where you can get it. I'm not seeing one on the box, unfortunately, but this is a really good deck, and I really enjoy using it for all manner of things. It's nice and colorful, and it's very diverse and also queer friendly, and also just very expressive and symbolic. So I really enjoy using it, and really highly recommend it. So I hope she's still got more copies of it. If I had all the money I wanted, I would just go fund a bunch of decks so that they would always be in print. Like, honestly, I think it's really worth it to have these artists' work available. So, what I like to do whenever I draw cards, by the way, I'm going to give you some tips on how I read for the news. So, the big question is um, why is Elon basically acting in a way that would drive the government away from relying so much on Twitter? Because the government's reliance on Twitter has actually been in Twitter's favor. Twitter has been less scrutinized by the government than, say, Google or Facebook. And I think it's because the government kind of relies on Twitter, and Twitter has been playing, until it was owned by Elon, it was playing pretty well with the government. So why is Elon behaving in a way that would make the government stop using it as a trusted service? He doesn't see any money in it. He doesn't think that the government is going to pay for it. And right now, Elon is entirely driven by whether things are going to pay for themselves. That's very interesting. So he's really, really driven by. He doesn't think that's going to make Twitter solvent. He doesn't think that all these political people are gonna pay for it. That this is really funny. Like, not good business. That's I mean, they haven't been paying it before, so why will they now? Does Elon think does what is Elon's intent with Twitter? By the way, one of the things I suggest is to not ask yes or no questions and try to rephrase the question so that the card can give you more information. So instead of asking, um, you know, are they going to do so and so? Ask, what sort of thing are they going to do? Because instead of getting a yes no indication, you will get so much more from the card. The other thing is, what I do is I kind of prop my cards up like this. Here's like the little booklet. I prop my cards up like this, and I actually draw anywhere from the top to the middle to the bottom, just wherever my inclination takes me. I just draw from there. So it's what was the question that I had asked? Um, if I don't remember it, then I just ask another one, to be honest. So when it comes to Elon, what is Elon? That's right. What is Elon's intention with the company of Twitter from now on? What is Elon's intention with Twitter going forward? So I like to draw from the top of a pile, not the bottom. Um, he's gonna kill it, y'all. Elon's gonna kill Twitter. That's what my cards say. I'm not I'm not like that. This is that. So this is the difference between watching the headlines and watching Twitter, and reading cards. Is that with reading cards you kind of get instant answers. The thing is, you're gonna have to wait a while to see if it actually plays out. Um, Most of the cards that I draw, most of the answers they give me do tend to prove out in reality. The times that they don't, it tends to be because someone ended up having an alternative thing that they could have done and they do that instead. And so there's no actual opportunity to see the results of what my cards were saying would happen if it's anyway. So basically, if I'm probing through a certain causality and I ask, well, what would happen if things went this way? If things don't actually go that way, then I'll never see if it would have happened like that. So sometimes it's just a matter of how you're phrasing it and how much guessing you're doing. Sometimes the assumptions that you put on the cards, like they can really change a lot of things. So obviously, I use cards a lot for my news and divination. Now, I don't just use tarot. This is a tarot deck, and it's pretty um, in terms of a lot of its formatting and structure. It's pretty traditional. It's just that the imagery has been changed to either be more modern or queer as hell. So um, you can use any number of things. I mean, you can flip a coin if you really want yes no questions. Like that's the epitome of a yes no answer. The only thing with a coin is that um, if you're asking something that does not have a yes or no answer, that means that the coin doesn't have a way of replying in a way that's appropriate for your answer, unless the coin lands on its rim or bounces somewhere or kind of rolls around. So if you notice the coin kind of acting weird, then consider that maybe there's not a yes no answer to what it is that you're asking. Or in this case, it turns out that's not a yes or no. Okay, so how long is Twitter going to last? This way I can talk about timing questions. So how long is Twitter going to last? And I'm not even allowing for it's just going to last into a good long lifetime. Oh, I got death reverse, so it's not long. Uh I do read reversals with this deck. The backs are reversible, so that's usually an indication of whether they were intended to be reversed. With death reversed, the way that I'm seeing this one, it's like not metaphorical. It gon' die. This basically means it's already dead, or it's like the killing blow has already been made, and it's kind of last struggles. And like I think that's because Elon's intent is to just take it apart. Now, why is Elon's intent to destroy Twitter? His intent was to use this as a messenger to go into space, and if he can't use it for that, he's not going to use it for anything. What about the money? Well, kind of a two thing. So I've got the reverse Knight of Wands here. One is that he's used to just kind of hype manning his money back into place, so he can just make it happen like he did before. The reversal here is indicating that whenever he does this, it is a bit illusory in nature. He's basically making that money kind of appear out of thin air. I saw a documentary where he said that $30 million is just a matter of um, making phone calls all night. So um, take that for what you will. And then when it comes to like the rest of it, I believe that he's going to try to take Twitter as a loss. He might just claim it on taxes. And what, if anything, is Elon looking at in terms of legal or government repercussions for the actions that he has taken with Twitter thus far and until its demise? It's so the government's in this weird position of Elon has basically said hold my beer, and then it handed its beer to the government. So um it's I think that one of the things that he didn't realize is that there's some kind of agreement that Twitter put itself under before all this started. That means that he's a lot more culpable for what it is that he's doing decisions wise than he was with any other company he was with before. Um, and I guess we'll see how that goes. I'm getting this sense that the government's going to stand back and watch for a while and just kind of see how deep this river goes. Um, Before they go wade in themselves, they're gonna see just how far up to his neck he gets, and then I guess I guess they're waiting for him to incriminate himself, which fair. I mean, it probably won't take long at this point. Is this man a total? How much of a fool? How much of a total fool is this man? I don't understand at this point. It's just a matter of him always having had money and always having started out with something. He's not used to whatever Twitter was. He's not used to not getting whatever it is that he wants immediately. He's really impatient. He's just he's used to always being in startup mode, and Twitter is so far beyond startup mode. I think that's one of the big problems. See, he's used to running startups, so he's trying to run Twitter like it's a startup, but Twitter's a very established business at this point, and not at all supposed to be run like he's trying to run it. Oh, so let's see. I might just wrap it up like with this, because to me it's been interesting, kind of just reading cards on how it's going to go with Twitter. Now, is Twitter how reliable is Twitter going to be? Um, like, what's Twitter's future going to look like? And by that I mean, is it going to be functioning? Is there going to be an archive? Is someone new going to buy it and bring it back? Is something going to replace it, etc.? What's the future of Twitter looking like? Um, Definitely more of the same when it comes to someone just kind of like taking a like the guy on top is drunk. So just more of the same. He seems to really want it, so I don't see it changing hands. And I see a lot of people sort of benefiting, like if you imagine there being lots of courtiers around this throne, and I imagine a lot of those courtiers around sort of benefiting from the demise of Twitter or the decline of Twitter. You have a lot of people who are about to be starting up a lot of services, seeing if people will join that. Um, I don't know. He's going to be trying to hold court. Um, that's what it's going to look like. So, what I'm really getting from this card, oh, jumping around, big spectacle. What I'm really getting from this card is that there's going to be a lot to watch, and it's going to be pretty entertaining to watch. It's going to be like watching Bacchus carouse. So I guess watch it while it lasts. Any sites that are likely to replace Twitter, like what type of competition or replacements are we going to be seeing on the field in the next 2 years? Um, Going to be seeing some veterans in the field making a serious offering. Like, so there's going to be one kingmaker here, one apt to rule them all. Like someone's going to rise to the top. They're going to be a very serious contender, and people are going to go for them immediately. So wonder. I don't know. I don't think that means that Twitter is going to be go. I think maybe someone who was previously working at Twitter is going to make a competing product that people flock to in droves. And they're going to be very stable seeming and very trustworthy. That's going to be a big difference from the King of Cups that just bought Twitter. I mean, look at that. That's very stark comparison. Sorry, that darkened so much. There we go. So we're going to go from this to this. And this is what you want running a social media and web technology company. Not this. I'm not sure if I'd have this guy run a car company. Ooh, look, we could have like a little play here. Anyway. Any other kind of news to be looking out for? Anything going to be coming up in the next few days or week that's super newsworthy? Help me predict something that makes me look cool. I think we're going to see something in the stock market involving younger investors, meme stocks. You know what? The FTX guy is really making me think there's going to be, maybe we'll see an indictment or an arrest with Sam Bankman-Fried. Since this is making me think of the FTX guy, the guy who had the FTX exchange, the CEO of it. He stepped down. That's the crypto exchange that is filing for bankruptcy. So I think we'll see a lot more developments with that pretty soon. Upside down, so definitely not looking good for the stability of the company and the stability of that guy's finances. Upside down cup, maybe he's going to spill a lot. Maybe he's going to talk a lot about what happened, and we're going to find out some more about the case. Lot's probably gonna get emptied out into the open now. Um, might be good for crypto too. I honestly think crypto really needs a clean out in terms of the industry. We need some integrity in crypto if it's going to go anywhere. And I really think that crypto could go somewhere, considering we could really use some digital currency that works in this world. So that wraps it up. Thanks for watching Wizard News and Politics. Obviously, you're probably going to be catching this stream after it was live, since I decided to do this at way early in the morning on a Saturday. So hope you learned some things about divination, and see you later. Cheers.